And I do want to bring in retired Major General William Enyart for more on this now. General Enyart, it's always good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Natasha. It's good to be with you.
Let's talk about this intel, these new claims by the chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee that the military requested an airstrike, but that it was denied. What do you make of this?
Well, Natasha, as a military commander who had to order our servicemen and women into combat and who lost 19 soldiers in Afghanistan and Iraq, I find Congressman Mike McCaul's use of our 13 service members killed in action in a suicide bomber attack at Kabul airport 2 years ago and their Gold Star families to further his political agenda appalling. This is less a quest for truth than it is to use their deaths for a political assault. I watched Sergeant Vargas Andrews' testimony, and it is indeed very powerful and it's heartbreaking. And whether his battalion commander's failure to issue a fire order was proper is going to haunt that lieutenant colonel for the rest of his life. But not bombing ISIS that day had nothing to do with this suicide attack. The attack was already planned and on and underway. The congressman conflates the issues. Bombing ISIS-K's headquarters that day would have done nothing to stop this attack. And Sergeant Vargas Andrews, nowhere in his testimony, says that it would have. The congressman misstates the facts in his Fox interview. It appears that he either doesn't understand what the facts are, or he's less interested in the truth than in using the grief of innocent people to further his political goals.
Yeah, I appreciate that perspective so much. So just to be entirely clear, you do not believe that an airstrike, a fire order, would have saved Afghan and American lives?
Now, don't confuse the airstrike and the fire order, okay? In Sergeant Vargas Andrews' testimony, he stated his battalion commander, a lieutenant colonel, did not give him the fire order, okay? So that was a sniper fire order. The bombing attack was an entirely separate issue and would have been an attack on ISIS-K's headquarters, not on this particular individual suicide bomber who was already underway. Either the congressman misunderstands the timeline, or he misunderstands how military planning and operations work, or he's less interested in understanding those than he is in getting his particular political message out.
I see, but bottom line, you're saying that with the knowledge that you have, if the airstrike had happened, the suicide bombing still would have occurred.
Yes, because it's two separate incidents, two separate issues. The sniper, or excuse me, the bomber who Sergeant Vargas Andrews, as a sniper, believed he had in his gun sights was miles and miles and miles away from where this bombing would have taken place, from where the U.S. would have bombed this ISIS headquarters center. So yeah, it wouldn't have stopped it. He was already underway.
Okay. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Thank you for the context you provided and the perspective. Retired Major General William Enyart, thank you.
Absolutely. Good to be with you. And I'm sorry it's about such a thing.
I agree. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.